Hey guys, Brian Lebo here with your May Las Vegas update video. Today, we're going to check out the notice of default activity, check out the current inventory levels and how they're trending. We'll break down this inventory to see what the current relationship between short sales, foreclosures, and traditional sales are. And then we'll take a look at last month's sales and compare them to last year's sales. Okay, first up is the NODs or Notice of Defaults. The reason we look at this is because it provides us with a window into the future to determine what level of foreclosures will be hitting the market in about 6 months. Now, as you can see on the screen right now, we've been remarkably steady for about the past 3 months in the 400s. Essentially, don't expect to see any foreclosures coming down the pipeline anytime soon. Okay, now let's check out the current inventory levels. Much like the NODs, our inventory has been hovering around 6,500 available homes on the MLS for the past few months. Since we haven't increased our inventory, this has been keeping our market relatively stable since demand has come down substantially. Technically, to be in a fair market, we should have about 10,000 homes. So technically, it's still considered a seller's market. Okay, let's break down the inventory. While the MLS shows about 6,500 homes for sale on the MLS right now, about 250 of them are actually new homes. This puts us realistically at 6,282 at the time of this filming. 846 are short sales, only 360 are foreclosures, which leaves 5,076 as traditional sales. Let's just make this simpler. 13% of the market are short sales, 6% of the market are foreclosures, which leaves 81% of the market as traditional sales. To add perspective, we were at 75% traditional sales back in January. So we've been steadily working through our distressed inventory this year. That is, until we start foreclosing on the 40,000 plus delinquent mortgages we still have. All right, so let's look at last month's sales now. Last month, we sold 2,463 homes. This was up 4% from March's sales of 2,368. Now, let me stop here for 1 second. The media always compares this month's sales to last month's. Let me just say that this is completely and utterly ridiculous. As we head into the summer months, typically, every month's sales increase until we get to about September. So bragging that sales are up month over month makes about as much sense as saying that it's amazing how long these days are compared to this winter. It's supposed to. Instead of feeding you guys the obvious, let's look at last month's sales compared to April of last year. Last year, we sold 2,883 homes. Put simply, last month wasn't anything to brag about. We were down 15% from last year. We sold 420 less homes. If you go back 2 years, we're down 19% from April of 2012. Remember, last year, we had half the inventory we have right now. 2 years ago, it was closer to today's levels. So what does this all mean? It means that demand is realistically down about 15%. So let's check out the difference in median price. Last month's median price was bizarrely $190,000 right on the dot, and 30 days on the market for the average sale. Now, last year in April, the median price was only $165,000 and 15 days on the market. So compared to last year, prices are up 15%, but homes are taking twice as long to sell. Now, here's where everything gets really interesting. I just told you that last month's sales price was $190,000. Well, guess what? The month before, in March, the median sales price was actually $192,250. So last month's median sales price was actually down about 1.2%. Now, this may not be a big deal, but imagine if we give back 1% every single month from here on out. Realistically, we went down 1.6% back in November and then managed to increase for the next 4 months. So maybe this is a trend starting, or maybe this is just an isolated month. We'll definitely be revisiting these numbers next month. So let's go ahead and wrap up all this. The notice of defaults are consistently low, which means we shouldn't expect any foreclosures this year. Our inventory is also very consistent, around 6,500 homes. 81% of our inventory are traditional sales now, which is fantastic. Sales are down 15% from last year, and bucking the trend, we discovered that the median sales price went down 1.2% last month from March. Now, typically, May is the best month of the year for home sales, followed right behind by April, June, and July. So the next 3 months are the hottest time of the year for real estate. What I'm seeing out there is that in areas like Summerlin and Green Valley, homes are still selling incredibly fast. Homes priced under $250,000 are still selling very quick, since there's still a huge demand out there. Where we're seeing the slowdown right now is in homes priced over $400,000 and in the less desirable areas. If you're not in Summerlin or Green Valley and you're not on the low end of the market, things are getting a little bit sluggish out there. The big question is going to be what happens to the pricing moving forward. Everyone now agrees that prices should be flat this year. Technically, we're actually up 6.5% this year from the median price last year. But if we continue to give back 1% or more each month moving forward, we could easily end the year in the red. For the most part, however, utilize some semblance of common sense and feel free to purchase or sell right now. I think the market's very much in a holding pattern at this point. Well, that's it for this month. Please click here to subscribe and have a fantastic May, everyone.